What is up, ladies and gentlemen? In case you can't read, my name is DavidCigam. This is my Better Call Saul Season 3 episode I forgot, title I forgot, review, but the episode number and the title will be in the title anyways. And I'm going straight into the recap, and we have a cold opening, which is my absolute favorite cold opening so far this season, and it really shows how the feud between Hector and Gus started. Hector was showing his boss's ice cream business, was showing how much money he made. Gus sends his assistant to come show him Los Polos Hermanos, show him how much more money he made than Hector, how much better organized he is, really outshowing Hector. And I think that gets to Hector, and we kind of see where the rivalry in the business aspect started. And now going into the episode, of course, the DEA is raiding Hector's ice cream shop. The last episode, Mike planted some drugs on one of his ice cream trucks, and they stopped him on the border, and I guess the DEA found drugs. Now they're raiding Hector's ice cream shop. So now Hector doesn't have a way to send drugs across the border. So him and his crew go to Los Polos Hermanos, take over, and they demand that, and Hector demands that Gus gives him some spot in Gus's truck to ship drugs across the border. Gus kind of says no, but he doesn't really clarify the no. Hector is kind of threatening him. Gus says no, but Gus is happy that Hector has no way to ship drugs across the border. So happy, he offers to pay Mike some money. Mike declines the money. Says it was never about the money, it was never about helping Gus, it was just about him. It was something he wanted to do to Hector, he wanted to punish Hector. Gus says, you know what, Mike, if you want, you can work for me someday. Mike says, you know what, maybe it will, depending on the job. And it took 30 minutes for Saul and Kim's storyline to come into the Better Call Saul episode. And it was with Kim trying to find out who's going to repair Chuck's door. She found out, she told Saul. Saul got Mike to repair Chuck's door while also taking pictures around the house. And then Saul had to write out a confession. He had to confess. He had to apologize to Chuck. And then Kim was talking to Chuck about the hearing, talking about how she knows Chuck has another tape. And Chuck pretty much says, I do have another tape. I'm going to play it at the hearing. There's nothing you can do. And Kim was happy to hear that. So Kim and Saul have Kim and Jimmy, I should say, have a plan. I don't know what it is yet. I think maybe they're trying to make Chuck look insane based off the pictures. It showed how he had a gas lantern on top of some newspaper. Maybe it's going to show how Chuck is kind of reckless. I don't know what their plan is, but they have a plan. I think we'll see it in the next episode. But so far, this has been my absolute favorite episode of this season. It really made Better Call Saul feel like Breaking Bad for the first time. Gus and his storyline coming into this show is one of the best things that's happened to the show so far. I know a lot of people who watch Breaking Bad haven't transitioned into watching Better Call Saul yet. They said it's kind of boring, it's not like Breaking Bad. But in my opinion, it's like Breaking Bad now. Because before we had the Saul storyline, the show's about Saul, we had his storyline, but we also had the action, the Breaking Bad action with Mike. So it was Saul, Mike, and in my opinion, it was entertaining. But now that we have Gus, and if Gus stays where he's at going forward in this series, we have now this show about Saul. We have the Saul about transitioning to Jimmy transitioning to Saul. We have the action with Mike and the story about Mike. And now we have Gus and the drugs. This show has been missing drugs. Breaking Bad was based off drugs. The show's been missing drugs. We have the drugs now with Gus and his storyline. And this series, in my opinion, it's practically getting to the level of Breaking Bad. A lot of people keep joking, or there's always this internet rumor that Breaking Bad's making another season. Breaking Bad's going to come back and make another season. Well, Breaking Bad did make another season. It's called Better Call Saul. And in my opinion, it was the best episode so far this season. And I think if Gus and his storyline stay in this series is going to be greatly improved going forward. And we will be at the level of Breaking Bad. But I'd like to know what you guys think in the comments below. What do you think Kim and Jim's plans are for Chuck? And what do you think about Gus and his storyline being in this episode? Do you think Better Call Saul is going to be at the level of Breaking Bad? Do you think it's going to surpass it? Or do you think it's never going to actually reach that level? I'd like to know what you think in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and click like. If you want to see more DavidCigam or Better Call Saul reviews, please go ahead and subscribe. Again, my name is DavidCigam. Peace out.